Good evening and welcome back to the Naenae Bowling Club in Lower Hutt for the nightcap, the final game of day one of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals. We've brought 7 games of action for you here on the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel, and the final game of the day is between the Temuka Magpies, South Canterbury, up against Hawke's Bay's Taradale Tigers. And we are underway. First end of the first set. Of course, 5 ends a set. 2 sets, and if we're set apiece, we go to a tiebreaker like we had in our previous game between Tauranga Gold and North East Valley. And let's hope we have just as good a contest as we had in our previous game. Brenton Vinisroy in commentary alongside Steve Beale and Bowls New Zealand's president, Anne Wright. Very good evening to you both. Great to have you back, Anne and Steve, for the, well, first time for me anyway today.
That's right, yeah. No, I've had to put up with Kevin, or Kevin's had to put up with me, but now we get to put up with Anne, so...
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
I'm really a nice person, Steve.
You certainly are, and a great president to boot.
Saying all the right things. So, for Temuka Magpies, Hans Winkelman is their lead. Maria Davey, number 2, and skip is husband Merv Davey. And for the Taradale Tigers, their lead is Sheryl Glock, number 2 is Barbara Exeter, and their skip is Phil Young. So, of course, 2 teams out of the Hawke's Bay Centre as a result of Hastings Hornets winning last year. So they, along with the Taradale Tigers, here at Naenae.
It's a pretty good effort from them to come through that centre. It's a lot of good bowlers there. So, and Phil's been around the block a few times, so he knows how to play.
And you can see both teams dressed appropriately for the cooler evening, as is everyone else seemingly in the production here. Well, I'm still in the T-shirt.
It's certainly different temperature now to 2 games ago.
Yeah, it certainly drops usually at night time. Believe it or not, this is not as cold as it often is at this time of night, at this time of year.
You know, I played here a couple of years ago in the Champ singles, and it was freezing outside, so they had to open up the windows here to warm the place up.
That's about right. Yeah, you leave the building, go. It's warmer outside.
Not like the good old South Island, eh?
Not at all, not at all. We breed them hardy down there.
That's the one.
So Temuka Magpies are holding the shot as skips change over. South Canterbury Centre champions, Temuka Magpies. Now up to Merv Davey and Sheryl Glock. Excuse me, Phil Young. Move to bowl first of the 2 skips. Holding shot. Plenty of room to still work with on this backhand for the right-hand player. Obviously the forehand for Merv.
He looks a bit quick, hasn't he?
We might get that jab.
Wasn't far away.
Need to open the door a wee bit wider, and you would have picked that up.
Pretty aggressive first up bowl from the skip when you held shot. Coming around the long way is Phil Young.
Yeah.
What I've seen so far, usually if you're on that line on this ring, it just stays out there.
Particularly on that hand, it seems to hang.
So ran into one of the wide bowls as it was.
Let's see if Phil takes a bit off here. We're on a reasonable line, isn't he?
And a good bite.
Oh, he's just narrowly missed it again, this time on the other side. Unfortunate.
No, he's only one down though, isn't he?
No, he was, yeah.
Yep.
Just the one down. So now, Merv Davey. Chance to try and add a second.
Just hanging out there.
Yeah, similar.
Wide.
Stays wide. So Temuka on the board first. 1-0. One shot on the first end. First set. 1-0 Temuka over Taradale. And this is the final game. 8 games of bowls on the Bowls New Zealand YouTube channel. While you're there, why not give us a like and subscribe. And we're going to have another 8 games to come tomorrow. And then quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final on Sunday.
It'll get all exciting. The last rounds tomorrow for sure. Where their teams will be looking at each other over the shoulder and deciding who's got to do what and to make that top 2 for finals day.
Yeah, exactly right. And we'll bring you an update on the tables after the 3 rounds of action in section 3 and 4. At the break between the sets. Already have kept you up to date for the sections 1 and 2 from earlier today. Of course, they had the morning and early afternoon slot. Sections 3 and 4 playing this afternoon and evening.
Got the running?
Nope.
Not quite.
Hans Winkelman, the second. First was right back on that centre line, just coming up a bit short.
Be a long day for you, wouldn't it, with the way Phoenix went yesterday or last night. It's good news for them.
Absolutely. Yep. Phoenix getting a great result last night into the finals. And then got to watch that late last night. And then here to Naenae to watch some bowls.
Wow.
Sport. Not a bad life.
Oh, we touch on that one.
Gave it a wee shot. In for shot.
Sheryl Glock. Now, Maria Davey. Doesn't look like it's got the weight.
No. She's a wee bit worried getting mic'd up.
As in worried what she's going to say?
Yeah. She's all bad. Well, think it.
Yeah, have some declined and said, oh, I don't give it to someone else?
Oh, there've been a few running for cover when I'm walking over with them, what's that? And then they're running, but,
The thing is, you're usually pretty aware of being there and you bite your tongue sometimes.
Oh, it gives us great insight, though. It's been great having Skips or the number 2s mic'd up. So we really can bring you early onto the green. You know what the players are seeing and what they're calling from their teammates.
Pretty good shot.
It's decent home there from Maria Davey.
They're not quite just landing that circle yet, are they? So
Usually takes a couple of ends, I've found. Yep. That was certainly the case in the last match. After, I think, scrappy first end, they were right on the jack from that moment onwards. Sarah Scott played some big bowls for North East Valley to get them out on top of Tauranga Gold last time out.
I think Cliffy played a bomb too, didn't he?
Yeah, I
make
did.
it 6 or
I
something?
did. Yeah. Yeah, some very good bowls played. Tauranga Gold probably wonder how they lost that. Really, they played some very well. Great contest. Let's hope we get something similar here between these two sides, especially once they start to find their range. Almost like a couple of practice ends, really, as they get used to the different conditions here on the TV rink, which is different to the other greens here. And also just the ever-cooling conditions will have an impact too, Steve.
Oh, absolutely, and it'll tighten the green up a bit, and they'll find that the range will just keep changing as it gets colder, and they need to adjust to that. And yeah, as we're sitting in my jacket, it's not cold.
Keep it warm.
Merv Davey just slides by with his now. Phil Young.
He's high, wide, and handsome. Just the bowl.
And that should be shot. Well played. Merv Davey. Now all on.
Yep.
Phil Young here. Final bowl of this second end, first set. Can he find a corridor through here or get a nice little touch off a jack? He does, off the shot bowl, but it goes past the head and it won't change the picture.
He just needed to catch that one
Yeah.
fat, and he would have been right, but he just didn't catch it full enough.
So one's taken away. That's the Merv Davey bowl. Now seeing whether they got second here. Temuka.
It's hard to tell in those angles, isn't it?
Yeah, it is difficult sometimes, the camera angle, Steve. So just the one. So one more to Temuka. 2-0. Shot on each of the ends. First two ends of this first set. Tied opening. So Way, our marker, keeping us up to date with who's holding shot and who has picked up shots on each end.
The small numbers seem to be the trend in the TV rink. You know, like that 6 I heard, that Cliffy got, that would be the first there. And generally it's only been 1s and 2s in the early games that I was
the
looking at,
the tiebreaker ends were massive in that last game. When North East Valley picked up a 4 on theirs as well. So, so the tiebreaker was very decisive. But yeah, you're right. Majority of what we're seeing, certainly here, it's been 1s and 2s. A tight start to this contest. Taradale certainly not out of it in the early stages of this set. I don't know how you feel about the power plays, guys, but I'm a big fan of the early power play in the first set, using it proactively rather than reactively. Like nearly every single team so far has used it because they've just gone behind or they've just dropped a number on the previous end. Then they call their power play in the second set nearly all the time to get back into the set or rather than using it as a proactive step. Now I'm just going to go out here and try and take charge of the set,
pull them out right up, short end, first end, give it to me.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be first end, but I'm not against that either. No. But yeah, I just don't know if we're going to see that again. I think we might be seeing another second set use of the power play. North East Valley did use theirs at the final end of the first set, which worked, paid off, won them the set.
Yeah, I think Simesy had an early play in an earlier round, but it was reactive, just trying to win the set and then go into that second set with, they've got to catch us sort of mentality with it, but I'm not sure that it quite worked for him on that particular occasion.
It's not really something that you can bank, is it? So if you can use it as reactively, you probably get more benefit from it, I think.
Yeah, I think sometimes
it's an attacking thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's held back and you lose it. It becomes redundant towards the end.
Yeah.
And so, that's where, you've just got a chance to really take charge. And if you say win the first set, you're most of the way there, right? The worst you can do is go to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think it was one of the teams over, on the main arena. Pulled it very early in the second set, and then all of a sudden they picked up a 2, and then they're 4-0 up. Yeah, with 4 ends to play.
Yeah,
and scoreboard pressure got them.
Exactly right. Yeah,
that was it. The others started chasing the game, and.
But I've been banging on about this for years. No one listens to me anyway, so well, I'll continue to talk about it.
They might listen eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, all the good bowlers are here, aren't they? Talking about it, not playing it. So.
As I said earlier, we're playing brilliant bowls here.
Haven't missed a shot yet.
So, third in, first set of the final game of day one of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals here at Naenae. Brenton Vanessa alongside Steve Beale and Bowls New Zealand's president, Anne Wright. President since September last year. You've enjoyed, the 6 months, or a bit longer than that now?
Nearly 9 months now. It's been a difficult time because so many events have been put off, and but we tried to do a little bit of PR once we went to the zone situation, and I went to Nelson and down to Roxburgh. And I think that the clubs appreciated that and the centres appreciated that. Just to see a Bowls New Zealand face at an event. I enjoy meeting people, so it's good to catch up with the average player, and they like me.
And that's the big part of the role, isn't it? Really just getting out and about and talking to people around the regions.
I think so, yes. Yeah.
You've
Fly
been
the
to
flag.
centenaries or anything like that yet?
Yes, I have. I did the Ramfurly centenary, which was a thrill for me because that was my mum was a life member
Oh,
there,
wow.
down in Central Otago. So that was my first event. So that was a real special one. And then I did 125 years at Gore, and I enjoyed that as well. And Sheldon was the guest speaker there.
Oh, cool.
So that was really good. And I'm going to the Trans-Tasman, so I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Very good.
Getting out and about. It's good.
Holding three, so just come in here and draw.
Pretty clear instructions there from Maria Davey to husband Merv. Holding 3, just draw please.
That couldn't have gone well for Phil then. He's the one that sliced it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
While we're watching this bowl coming in, Aramoa Bowling Club couldn't quite get a team here this year because my good mate Craig McDonald is not too well at the moment. So I know you're watching this, Craig, so big shout out to you, brother, and look forward to catching up with you, and hope the health does come right, and enjoy catching up for a lemonade sometime soon, mate.
It's always sad to hear these people that have health problems, and because it's I think being able to get out on the green keeps us all mentally sane as well as physically sane.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sue Way may have to intervene here.
Oh, the old
Chocks
are
coming out. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of players realise that they can actually have chocks of their own and chock a bowl like that.
Really?
It doesn't have to be an umpire.
Right.
They don't trust themselves, don't have the steady hand that the markers and the umpires have.
Could be it.
Generally, I find a pen works just as well, actually.
Or a piece of chalk, or
Yeah.
you notice in a lot of the top level bowls that a player will get in and chock it as soon as it stops, you know, if it's getting ready to measure, because you've only got that 30-second
Yeah.
with the last bowl.
So what happened there in the end? Sue's running
Yeah,
away.
Sue's about to tell us. Two is the final decision, so 2 more for Temuka. So they're in charge of this first set, 4-0. They now lead after 3 ends of 5. All to do for Taradale Tigers.
They just haven't quite settled the Taradale team just yet.
Yeah, and the way that this format is, you don't really have time to. You have to settle quickly, otherwise things quickly disappear. Yeah. Sets disappear, goes by very fast. But the other thing is, if you do have a slow start, lose the first set, you know, win the second set, anything can happen in that tiebreaker.
How often are you seeing, you know, someone get absolutely smashed in the first set
yeah,
and then come out and narrowly win the second, and then someone
the
plays a bomb.
tiebreaker.
Someone plays a bomb and gotcha.
Yeah, that's the wonders of this format. It can happen.
It's down a lot of speed now, isn't it? That's a good
Coming
ball.
back now.
Yeah.
Great ball from Hans Winkelman there.
If the league can get that first one, or one of them, pretty close, that just puts the pressure on and opens the game up for them. And the others got to chase that shot.
Yeah, 2 bowl triples so important, isn't it, the lead? We've seen it in the Bowls3Five on Sky Sport. The best teams always had a good lead and a consistent lead. They were the ones that always went deep in the competition, and they were the ones that usually won the titles.
Well, it gives the second the luxury of just putting bowls in good places so that you're not dropping a number or restricting the opportunity of the shot options for the opposition. So it's that might have been a slip.
Bit sad.
Like one of mine.
I'm pretty good at those.
They haven't made a green fast enough. I can't be short on, I can tell you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having that one back, I think.
Ooh.
Might
and this one might run into it. It might turn out to be quite handy.
Unintentional block.
Yeah. Doubt to be all right. I'm surprised if she doesn't make the correction here.
Sound like a better line.
Still cutting across though.
Yeah, come on.
A big way.
Yeah.
You want to push this ball through.
Weight was good.
See a bit of weight here by the look of it. Well, that's what Phil was asking for.
Barbara Exeter.
Close.
He's having a look.
Good
Good, yeah, great
good
effort. That was what was called for, playing with that extra weight, attacking the jack, and narrowly missed out at Barbara Exeter. So the skips now change over. Temuka holding that shot, as you can see clearly.
One of the things I've sort of noticed is, the shot play. A lot of them get missing high. And I think it's just the difference of playing on an indoor carpet versus
the outdoor.
The outdoor, natural. The line it's a bit tighter than you generally think with it. So
Merv Davey looking to add to the count. Or at least try and protect that jack. This can get almost right in that line.
Handy there.
Yeah, certainly take that. Make it harder again for Phil Young to access the jack.
No, but tight.
I said that block come into play again. That was more draw weight, wasn't it? He
Yes,
just missed it.
Yeah, certainly didn't get that right. He'll come down and have a look at the head, will Phil Young. Have a assessment of where the picture looks like after this bowl from Merv Davey.
Well, certainly blocked off the other end.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's we shot there around the pink and for it to release enough to get down to the jack because he was looking to play it through to that yellow bowl.
Well, that's what
Or
the
is it
shot would
orange?
be, isn't it? It's speckled. Probably a bit of both.
Very right.
Needs to come up with something here, Phil Young. He's 2 down on the head, 4-0 down in the set. This is the penultimate end.
He's really got to try and make 2 of it to give himself a chance at that last
Yeah.
end, isn't he? He's got a bit of weight.
Attacking the head.
Oh, it's going to...
No.
No, he's in the right area.
No, it was a fair effort.
Yeah.
The idea was right. But
Unfortunately for Phil Young, it hasn't changed the situation. So it'll be 2 more for Temuka Magpies. So 4 ends played first set, 6-0. They lead. And Paranga Taradale Tigers miracle here when they score from all 6 bowls. They will be winning the first set here, Temuka.
That worked out. They've got 2 jacks.
It's an old habit, die hard, isn't it? Rolling the jack out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the game is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the jacks are at each end, of course, in Bowls3Five, especially on the TV rink. Jack is placed on the one of 3 spots.
It's the medium one.
Yeah, the middle
This one.
length.
Weight was good.
Bad first bowl from Hans Winkelman off the front.
I think the Taradale team just need to find that line and find the weight and you know, park this one going, yep, we didn't get the set, so
Put the
What have we
effort
got?
into the next set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every bowl's still valuable here, isn't it? Because
Yep.
it's basically getting more accustomed, trying to get some bowls close and go, all right, that's what I need to do for the next set.
Yep.
Sheryl Glock, the lead for Taradale Tigers. Just over the head with it first.
See what the adjustment's like.
So pretty decent line here. If it gets around that
Oh, it's
short
gotta get
bowl,
round.
unfortunately it didn't.
Foot tripped all right there. Looked like, you know, had the right speed.
Yeah.
Just round that would have been perfect, but
Was looking good till it got to there.
Off in the way.
yeah. Try and hit it deliberately, you can't.
No, exactly.
You don't try to do that, do you, Sam?
I'll take anything. Have a dip into the lucky bag every now and again.
That's what we said earlier. You've still got to have that bird on your shoulder a lot of the time, haven't you?
Yep. There's a fair element of skill, but there's Lady Luck's got a heck of a lot to play in it at times. Some of it good and some of it bad. Generally, if you get they get a big slide, it's off one of your horrible bowls sitting away out to the side. But
Or the
yeah,
wee short one way up
yeah,
there.
and it gets us straight enough, and you go, oh dear, why did I do that? It's been a big day for everyone out here today. You know, we started at 9 and time's ticking on now, so it's the Naenae club's done it well though, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing,
You know,
yeah.
the people here and you know, the support that we're getting, and the Bowls NZ team's doing good.
Staff in the kitchen and in the bar, they're all working very hard out there. All smiling and pleasant.
Yeah,
Very, very well done. Even the raffle sellers.
absolutely.
They've had quite a few big events here now, haven't they?
Yep.
Naenae, so they're pretty good at putting it on.
Oh,
Attacking shot there from Taradale, trying to dislodge the shot bowl. Rocked it. Fortunately, that was all.
Yeah.
sort
Sort
of
of-
set it down really, didn't it? So it's on it flat now.
Hard to move now, of course. So Temuka holding 3. It's 5th and final end. First set. 6-0 they lead. Power plays yet to be used by either side.
Yes, as called early from you, yeah, they'll use it in the second.
Yeah, it's the way they usually go.
Looks like Phil's winding up a bit.
Yeah, it looked like he might have.
He's trying to get rid of that bowl. And he kills it.
Onto the spot she goes.
Who has the spot back there?
Black bowl, is it? Black.
I think the Magpies might have it with that black one, have they?
Team Black, so that's Taradale on the black.
That's Taradale at the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 shot.
Oh.
And a tow rope required to measure the rest.
Yeah.
It's on the line.
Yeah, they're not close, are they?
Umpire, do you want to check that? No, just to see if it's in or out. Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought it was
So Wade called on to ask if it
am I right?
bowls in or out.
She's going to get the mirror. She's on the run. Go, Sue.
The thing is, if she's been called, she has to get the mirror, whereas
Yeah.
if they did it themselves, they...
A chance to bring you up to date with how the two tables look in these two sections. Section 3, which this is a Section 3 match, round 4. So far, the only unbeaten side are the Gore Rams. 3 from 3. Wangarewa Kites, Taradale Tigers, and the Aramoho Shunters, who we showed earlier, have had the one defeat. And then it's United Hawks, Nelson, Marston, Temuka Magpies, and the Kerry Crushers. We're currently towards the bottom of that table. That's Section 3. I'll bring you up to date. Section 4 after this. Sue Wade gets back into position. I've never seen an umpire move so fast. Is she our most athletic umpire there, Anne?
Probably one of the youngest.
Yeah, I was just going to say she's probably one of the youngest. Michael Johnson's probably the only one that's younger.
That's good to see. Great urgency, as is befitting of this format. Fast.
We're
we,
always
don't have an umpire shot clock, do we?
we're always
That's a
told
new
when
innovation.
We should do.
Yeah, Mark Cameron will be into that.
we're always told when we're training that we shouldn't run. We shouldn't. We should walk quickly,
Oh.
but not run.
I think it's partly keeping warm as well.
Yep. That was a good shot from the skip, from Temuka. Phil doesn't look too badly down either,
I
does he?
think that's going to come in nicely.
It could
there.
be the shot here. It's not far away from where the foot was. As long as it stays up.
How far is it going to go?
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's just outside the circle, so unfortunate there. So Temuka pick up another. So shutout of the first set, 7-0. They take it. Temuka Magpies, South Canterbury. So all to do for Taradale Tigers. Of course, they win the second set. Doesn't matter what the scoreline is. If they win it, we will be going to a tiebreaker end to decide the nightcap. Final contest of Day 1 of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals. So I mentioned and showed you Section 3. Here's Section 4. So Point Chef Pirates are 2 from 2. They'll be playing a game right now as well, their third game of Day 1. North East Valley, who we saw earlier in their tiebreaker win over Tauranga Gold, also at top of the table. They've had a defeat though. Otherwise, it's very even, isn't it? With all the sides,
way
one
down.
win, one loss. And apart from Hormai, who we also saw earlier, every other side has had at least a win. So really, that section is wide open,
Wide open.
as it currently stands. Section 4 to find out who will be the top two sides. Really, I think even Hormai, if they win the rest of their games, they're a chance. So that section, we'll yet to find out really who has emerged from Day 1. Might find that out with the games to come. Of course, go to the Bowls New Zealand website for all the scores at the end of the day to find out who has won these final round matches on Day 1 of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals here at Naenae.
And if they watch the streaming and that, we'll be updating round by round anyway. And so, yeah, it'll start getting exciting soon. I think it'll come down to sets 1. I think we'll be deciding.
Yeah.
And so those 2-0ers are, they really come.
They're like
come
gold,
into
aren't
play.
they?
They are.
Yeah.
It's wonderful for the people at home to be able to sit and watch the streaming now. Years ago you would never have known anything until the event was over.
Well, yeah, and where we've taken streaming and that, it's just been sensational over the last couple of 3 years, with what Tamara's doing and
Definitely.
And there's a lot of clubs now getting on board with it and asking how and what they need to do, and we can give that advice at Bowls NZ, put them onto the right package, and so they can set themselves up. And more and more clubs are doing it, and it's really good. And and it's amazing who's watching.
Yes, I'd say. And the staff are only too happy to help out in any way that they can. So.
Another meter.
The great thing is you can watch anywhere in the world, can't you? That's
Yeah.
the thing. And if you are watching and enjoying our coverage on Bowls New Zealand's YouTube channel, please like and subscribe while you're there. And then you'll be aware of any other content we bring to you, but going to bring you a lot more over the weekend. 8 games to come tomorrow, and then quarter-final, semi-final and final, of course, on the Sunday. So plenty more live bowls to come from the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals here at the Naenae Bowling Club. And Taradale search for a way back into this contest. Temuka holding
Needs a wee
shot.
clunk here. It's
Not
just
far
working
away.
right.
Attacking there was Barbara Exeter.
One
Taradale.
Temuka at the moment. So,
Yeah, all too familiar for Phil Young,
yeah,
isn't it?
walking around there scratching his head. going,
What do I do?
It doesn't look like he's just got to just give that blue in the front there just a bit of a tap, and it'll wander in for shot. And if he's just past it, he'll draw a shot.
So move Davey.
Who'll be looking to add to the count on picket?
Try and come around those front ones if you can. And maybe promote one.
And be in the middle of it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's worked out pretty well.
Yes.
Yep. He's beaten Phil to the draw on that one, isn't he? Made it very hard now to get shot. Phil will be just happy to go one down, I think. So it must be 2, yep. It's 2 shots.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick which one it is. It
Mm,
must
like
be the
it's
one at
On the
it's at
wing.
8 o'clock there, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Different angle.
Yeah. Because those other ones are beyond the circles.
Phil Young with his first bowl of this second set.
It's a bit
It's
narrow.
walking away.
Yeah, not where he wanted it to be. Trying to come around those and comes under them.
Heading the weight, right?
Just come round the hands with the bowl. Into here.
Merv Davey following instructions from wife Maria Davey. Don't think he's quite got the weight
Right.
this time.
Track was good.
Right, 2 down on the head, Phil Young for Taradale. Needs something special here. Can he cut it to 1 at least with the goal?
Breaking in now.
Not going to be far away.
It's a
Oh, that's a great bowl.
Good
good
bowl.
effort. Good effort.
So he does cut it to 1.
Yep.
So 1 more to Temuka. And that was applauded, I think, by the Magpies as well. I realised that was a good bowl from Phil Young, the skip Taradale. Temuka continue to be the scorers in this contest. 1-0 they now lead after the first end of 5. Second set. Just reminding you that Taradale have to win this set if we're to go to a tiebreaker end, like we did in our previous match of the evening. Hans Winkelman here. Lead for Temuka. Will be trying to stop that from happening. Straight sets win will be the goal to push Temuka closer to a place in the finals on Sunday.
Oh, good bowl, Hen.
He's left that one a bit high, didn't he?
Sheryl Glock for Taradale Tigers. Slows through.
They just haven't quite nailed their line. You know, when you miss the line, the weight's generally...
Yeah, the
it's
weight's
hard.
roundabout, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just,
but yeah, first you get the line, then the weight comes. Up the distance.
Yeah, Phil Young was just showing that it's still a while away from the target. That previous bowl from Temuka skip. Now, Sheryl Glock. She's going to thread the needle between those two bowls. We'll just come inside it. It's going to be short. Yeah, it doesn't have the weight.
Blocked off that hand too.
Yeah.
it's coming in nicely.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that'll be the shot. Temuka now holding 2. All the work to do for Taradale, as it really has been from the outset, hasn't it?
It has, and it's getting that one close, and then it's easy to draw that second shot when you're holding, when you're down, and you've got 6 inches to get the shot.
Much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Barbara Exeter wide there first. And now Merv Davey saying for Maria Davey, please want one around there. A couple of bowls of Taradale's, and he doesn't want the jack move there without a bit of cover.
Going to be short, I
Yeah,
think,
it's going
isn't
to be
it?
short, but it's going to be good enough for another for the
shot.
count.
Yeah.
Not, I think, what they were trying to do, but
It's ended up in a reasonable spot. Hasn't really fattened it either.
no.
Not a target, you reckon?
No, well, it's there's plenty of air either side of it. It's
I think
Probably a
with
bit
weight, I
narrow.
think, attacking.
Bit narrow, I think.
Yeah. Not enough weight to really do anything either if it had been on target.
guess I'm not too well. I've got a fair idea what Phil's thinking at the moment, but
You're not going to voice it?
no. He's been good. He knows he's mic'd up, so
He's been very quiet, isn't he? We haven't heard much from him at all.
there's a couple of players out in the main game, main event out there that I wouldn't be quiet at this stage. I'm picking.
I suppose if you don't have anything
Words of
nice to say,
encouragement
don't
and
say it, you know,
yeah.
the old saying.
Yes.
It hasn't really gone too well for those Taradale Tigers this evening.
Just covering the back now. That sort of starts restricting Phil's options even more.
Yeah, smart bowl as well by Merv Davey, holding 3. Don't need to get greedy. Try and anticipate what Phil Young will try and do. If he's able to execute, you now got some cover back there.
Looks like he's having a wee runner. Again, playing with weight, hanging high.
Yeah.
Just not getting the line.
Under here. Come in.
So just trying to get amongst those bowls, I think he is. Yeah,
Smart bowl.
Merv Davey.
Counts and covers and leaves lots of gaps. Don't have to be on the jack to score.
Holding 4 here, the Magpies. Need something special here, Phil Young. Just want to try and reduce the count, ideally.
On draw weight by the look of that going past us. Not a million miles away, is he?
It's going to be pretty good bowl, isn't it? That cut it down.
No. Looks like he's left it a couple of 3 feet short.
Has he cut out a couple, though? Those two are gone. Is it just two?
So he's cut it down.
He has cut it down. Well done for
Yeah,
Phil Young. So instead of dropping a 4, it's just 2. And Temuka aren't out of reach just yet. Still power plays to be called as well. So 3 now. Now Temuka.
3 ends to score 4 with a power play.
Yeah. Keeps them in touch. Got to think, got to use that power play sooner rather than later. And I don't think we've seen a power play called as of yet. Still.
Well, Sue's walking past and she hasn't got the blue stick up, so and they know that they're going to catch her eye, so she can let us know. So the power play is going to be ends, what, 4 and 5?
Yeah.
Well, they're both going to pull it at the same
A
time.
little bit late.
Oh, I love a double power play.
Yeah.
That really gets me excited. Yeah, seen that every now and then. Often just because one of the skips has forgotten about the power play.
about it.
Oh, that's
well,
right.
I might play mine as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And generally with the
That's
typical
pretty
males, they wait till they got last bowl.
Exactly. That was needed by
Yeah.
Sheryl Glock because Hans Winkelman's often been getting the first bowl a bit closer than her. This time she's got the shot. Now Temuka having to try and claim it back. Let's see how they go, and they're not holding.
Handy spots where he's got them both there, but another one nice and close here would bring a smile to Phil, I'm sure.
Would certainly help the cause. Don't know that it's going to be, though.
Yeah. It's a worker.
Maria Davey, number 2 for Temuka. Watched on intently by husband Merv.
Watching that.
And you can see why.
Yeah, it's
Very good bowl. That's the shot. Good response from Temuka.
That looks tight out of the
Yeah, look narrowed in that.
Never seems to go for you when you're chasing, eh?
Yeah.
So, as they say, you're always behind the 8 ball, aren't you?
Yeah, that's why that last bowl from Maria Davey was so big, because it's so rare that Taradale have been holding shot and then they lose it once again.
Yeah.
Again, they're in that position where they're trying to grab it back.
Well, that's just in the eye.
Yeah. It's an annoying position if you're Taradale. Still a corridor there if she can get the line right. Playing with that attacking weight. This time it just stays out wide.
She's going bigger, wider and bigger. It's the old story when you're playing with weight, you miss first, change one thing, don't
Yeah.
change them both.
Don't not both.
Either go wider or play
So hard to
slower.
do though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easier said than done.
It's easy here.
Yeah, it's certainly the easiest place to be. And commentary, that's for sure. So Temuka holding 1. It's the third end, 5. First set. Thank you very much, Phil. Just moving far out of the way, very aware of the cameras. It's very nice of you, Phil. Must be hard for the players when they're not used to the cameras,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden having to be off that centre line that they're so often used to standing on.
Yeah.
Sit on that orange one. Oh,
Ooh.
great.
Has he made 2?
Don't know if he's quite made 2.
It's close. I think he may have.
So he's only got 1 in the measure.
1 on the measure. There you go. So wait. Marker and umpire.
With that orange bowl sticking out, but now Phil's got to play it with good weight because the last thing he wants to do is ripping his own out here.
Yes.
He's coming down the other hand, is he? Okay. No. If it was second shot, it's not anymore.
It's
Not
gone.
now, it's not.
We're only holding 1 now, Merv. Just come in under the orange one there.
The way she said that, they must have had 2.
Yeah.
She
That's
certainly
the
thought
top
so.
bowl there. So if you want to
Maria
come in
Davey.
under the orange bowl.
Yeah, the instructions there from Maria Davey. Now it's up to move to try and execute.
Run it out.
Depends on his run.
It's a bit short.
Looked on a decent track, didn't it? But just didn't have the weight.
This has got to be pretty precise. Phil will be looking to sit it fat and stay for a couple.
How's he looking?
Not a million miles away. Get a wee feather
Get the
there.
feather off that.
Oh,
The bowl went with it.
What's back there?
I don't
It's a
think
white
it's
one.
good.
It's,
I don't think it's
Yeah.
good for Phil.
I think it's Temuka.
Couple more for Temuka, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, it is confirmed by Sue Way. So 2 more for the Magpies. 5-0. It's just going all their way, unfortunately, there for Phil Young. Had to play the aggressive shot. It was in the area. It wasn't far away, but unfortunately moved
the
everything
jack and the
back
bowl.
to where the
Power
bowls were
play
in
this
Temuka.
time.
Power plays all over the place.
Oh, yeah, well, they'll be right. Yeah.
So is that for both, is it? Power play or?
Ah.
Power play, certainly. Both, yeah. Sue Way comes to us. Thank you very much.
Double power play.
I love the enthusiasm too. So we've got that double power play, which I called for. We love to see. So obviously, last throw of the dice really for Taradale, and
Yeah.
Temuka have just thought, well, might as well use it now.
Yeah,
No
might
point
well.
waiting it, leaving it to the last. Because of course, if they execute here on the power play, they seal it too.
Yeah, well, Phil needs a 3 here, really.
Yeah. Well, two at the very least to go behind by 1, go and play in the last. But yeah, three ideally. And they've yet to score anything, so
Yeah,
Yes.
Temuka's just happy with
doesn't
To score.
second shot,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I mean about the power play almost becoming redundant now, isn't it,
Yeah.
for Temuka? And they haven't needed it. Played very well. Control from the opening end. 1-8 in so far. Won the first set, 7-0, as you can see. And now very much in control of the second set. And this is the last opportunity for Taradale. And as Steve Beale mentioned, really, they need 3 here. A 2 at the very least, but 3 to take the set lead and to put a bit of pressure back on Temuka for the first time too.
Well,
Around it.
it's over. Phil's still got a chance there to move that. And trouble is when you need to move the jack, it looks the size of a marble.
Yes. It's a long way down there to the other end.
Yeah. When things are going well for you, it's the size of a baseball. So.
It's interesting watching all the different styles, isn't it, of play?
Absolutely, all got different
I mean,
techniques on the mat, and
6 people, and their styles are all different.
under that.
It shows there's no really right way, you know, as long as you're consistent with what you
That's
do.
right.
Yep.
What works for you,
Exactly
basically,
right,
isn't it?
yeah.
Certainly some of them aren't textbook.
But as long as they're doing the same thing every time.
That's the one, mate. No, he's got
Well,
to
it can
get
come
under that.
there. Yes, I
And
think
it does.
so, yes.
That's the boss.
That's what they needed. Barbara Exeter comes up with a big bowl. Or Taradale. Something to work with. Put the pressure on Temuka. But as you mentioned earlier, all they really need to do is try and mark the bowls, don't they? Just now that
Just mix and match.
a good
now.
second every time will do the job. Far away there, being that second bowl.
First objective is to get another shot here. If you
Yeah.
start trying to move it, it's
Yeah, I think that's what Phil was saying. Just add another, please.
and take the movement as a bonus if you can get it.
Looks a bit thin to me.
Oh, Phil has to draw two himself now.
Yeah, so they're holding one, as we mentioned. Really need it 3. Of course, double to 6 on their power play. Both sides called the power play. That's where the blue paddle, lollipop, side each team's name is. And the black one indicates that Taradale are holding shot on their power play. Yeah, how
It's
important
getting
this end
serious
is,
now,
isn't it? Yeah.
The mid-court conferences.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and Phil staying down to see what he's got to do.
Yeah, very important stage of this contest. Of course, the power play ends always are important, but when this is the last throw of the dice for Taradale,
A bit fun run weight there, isn't it?
yeah, aggressive play there from Merv Davey. I thought he might have just tried and draw and get a second, or
Well, he's got 2
He's got a
seconds.
couple of
Yeah,
seconds. though.
true.
So he's just, mind you, moving that yellow round or orange round just made it harder for Phil to.
that has, yeah. There's not those two oranges
He
next
can
to each
only-
other now.
He can only
Yeah.
really get his bowls counting now. He can't move it enough to bring those other ones into play. So it was a good. Whilst it might have been a bit off target, he's ended up with a good result.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil's on the way.
Is it going to find that little corridor? It doesn't have the weight.
Weight.
Doesn't have the weight.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to search for the bowl or the jack. He's got the weight to do it.
Yeah.
Is he?
Don't know if he's got the line, is he? He's holding up.
Oh, he's not far away. Rocks it.
Give it a rub.
We rub.
Good effort there from Merv Davey. Doesn't change the picture. Still holding one, Taradale, and the final bowl in the hands of Phil Young. And he's come to have a look because he's, how do I make this more than just 2?
He can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. At least he takes a super swoop and brings it back to the. It's the. I'll get him to buy lotto. He does that one.
That's getting into miracle territory, really.
Yeah, it's a Hail Mary, isn't it?
So really the wiser move just to try and draw a second and go,
Yeah.
well, I'm 5-4 down playing the last.
Yep. 2 in the last.
Yeah, 2 in the last to win and
Two
to send a
twos to win.
tiebreaker. It's going to be the philosophy here. Rather than the low percentage, hoping for a miracle and get another.
How's he looking? Needs to find a
He's
friend.
drawn
Yep.
it.
Oh, he's done well.
Well
Done
done,
very
Phil.
well. So he has picked up the second.
Yeah.
So 2 is double to 4 in the power play. And it's going to go to a fifth and final end to decide the second set. Taradale's on the board in a big way, converting their power play 5-4. It is now.
Well, it'll be interesting what Phil does with the jack here. He hasn't had it.
It's a good point.
Yeah, where am I going to put it?
Yep, he's going
Full
deep.
length.
Yep,
All the way back.
that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Change it up. You either had to go short or long.
They've just been sort of playing mid-length, really,
Yeah.
haven't they?
And hopefully your lead
There we
gets
go.
on, and that's exactly what's happened here. That's not a bad first up bowl. It has drifted past the outside the circle, but at least it's past the
behind
head. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not a bad adjustment considering we've been playing these shorter length ends, the mid-range, rather than the full length, which we're going back to. So the mat's always in the same place, but the jack's able to be moved into 3 positions.
Yeah, it's 3 metres past what they've been playing, so.
And that's quite an adjustment.
Yep.
See how
Playing
Hans
to
Winkelman
the
goes.
rings that Martin McKenzie put out there for us yesterday.
Oh,
The ringmaster, we called him.
Did them, do?
Yep.
He's done pretty well.
He did.
Pretty good rings.
Yeah. He wanted to colour them in, but we wouldn't let him.
You could do like they do with curling, you know. Have
Yeah.
Should have just
Actually-
given some colouring in pencils or something like that and go
Well,
for
funny
it.
enough, I'm just working on a wee project with Red Ant suppliers of graphic art and all that sort of thing to see whether we can actually get these rings and bullseyes and all that in vinyl put on the green so that you don't damage the green.
Right.
The challenge will be that they don't turn into an
No.
ice skating rink. It doesn't
Exactly.
affect
Once it hits
the
it,
float
yeah.
of the bowl.
Yeah.
But the material that Glenn Pelham was showing me was, I'm going, oh, I'm liking this. So he's putting together a series of different ones that we're going to have a look at, and we go, yeah, let's give that a go.
Well, it's worth a try to get something like that going. And
That's right, and it saves a heck of a lot of time if you've just got to put
Yes.
it down and you can lift it up and
yeah.
not mark the green or damage the green, because we looked at painting it or dye and all that sort of thing. So
Yeah. No, it seems like a great option if it doesn't change.
well,
the,
and then you can get sponsors' logos
Oh,
and sort
yeah,
of stuff
yeah,
like that, all part of it, and all part of that adding to the
Yeah,
image
definitely.
of TV. So
Definitely.
watch this space.
We'll be interested to see, Steve.
Yep. No, I was actually speaking to Glenn yesterday, and he's working on it at the moment. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll see what he's going to come up with.
So deciding final end of this second set of the nightcap, final game of day 1 of the Bowls3Five National Interclub finals. Temuka looking to hold on here. Taradale looking to force a tiebreaker.
Oh,
Oh, yikes. Is that in?
Right on that centre line.
Oh, they got shot.
that's probably the shot.
It is the shot, I think. And it's made things a bit difficult afterwards.
Yeah, well, Sue's indicated it is shot, so Phil's got half the 2 that he needs. And this is going to
Well,
wander
this is
away.
not going to add to the Temuka lot.
So nothing within our circles that we just talked about.
No.
There's
Well,
the
they call that a COVID head, isn't it? Everything's socially distanced.
Keeping the 2 metres apart.
And they've all done very well, keeping at least a metre away from the.
Yeah. But it's change like that. This is where you can actually pick up a number
Yes,
with having
yes.
nothing close.
That's right.
Looks easy. Just got to be up.
It's just, as you said, it's so different to what they had been playing. That
Well, they
None of them
well, they
have really
played
nailed
what 8 ends at 3/4.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then all of a sudden,
We've got a long one.
well, 9 ends really.
Yeah.
9 ends.
Yeah, 9 ends,
9
yeah.
ends, and
Yeah.
the last one's Oops, this is a bit different, he says. Ooh, Phil, you look tight, pal.
Yeah, it looks narrow, doesn't
pretty
it?
tight to me.
The last thing he wants to do is kick that.
Oh, he's still got holding shot, so he's still going to get another opportunity, but unfortunately, Move Davey may have a say for
Well,
Temuka.
Temuka have got the last bowl too. haven't they?
Exactly. Yeah, a chance really there, Phil, to really put pressure on Move Davey. If he drew one close,
If he
made
put
it
one
two.
on the nut there,
yeah.
it would have been different.
Now he has to do that with the second, whereas if there's an opportunity here, himself draw shot.
He's under it too, isn't he?
It's
Oh, no.
short too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to come under.
He's going to knock that
yeah.
one.
Might be
Oh, no,
enough
the
for
weight-
shot,
weight-
though.
Weight was all right. But you,
probably is
you
shot.
could be right.
It's close. Yeah, measure indicated by Sue Way, mark umpire here. Not much between those at all.
Well, Phil's got to make contact on his blue. You know, the old kick and follow through sort of shot with it. You know, with a couple of feet away. Because he's got to make them both count.
Yeah, exactly. Can't rely on the measure.
No,
he's
not at all.
He's got to promote that bowl and make sure his follows. Yeah, one won't do.
No, and
Drawn second set after dropping the first, of course.
he's just got to pull his line in just like
Whoops.
an inch. You know, because as soon as you start trying to play across for it, 10 to under green.
Can he execute here, Phil Young? This is the game.
He's out and draw a line.
How's it looking, Steve? I think he's going
got
to
it.
draw the shot. Oh.
Yes, no, maybe.
Has that moved that only sideways?
Yes. I wouldn't like to say. She's still measuring.
Yeah, still a measure, says Sue Way for shot.
But if he's only one down,
Yeah.
grab it. Don't risk it.
There's only one. There's no need for him to play this final bowl, Move Davey. But
He's going down to play it.
Yeah, Pitchy's been told don't be narrow. With the death stare.
Should be down there. You've obviously been told that before, Steve.
Ah, yes. He's not narrow.
He's certainly
Hey,
not
listen.
narrow.
As all good men should.
all right, so
Didn't
now,
scare it, right?
now we're going to
Okay,
measure.
so-
Yeah. So you might get a job.
Oh, they shook hands, so they decided that if it is any, it's just the one.
Not sure what they're doing.
Don't know if they know what they're
I
doing.
don't think they know what they're doing.
Just get down and measure. Please.
Sometimes they stand and look and look and look, and they could have had it all measured. And
Yeah, maybe they just think it's only, if it is anything, it's just the one. And so that's why
I
they've already,
think so, I think
already
so.
shook hands.
Well, they like the white disc bowl.
Yeah.
Because it makes a difference because it's a drawn set, so that could come into
yes, yes.
Oh, exactly right.
versus the two. One white.
So one more for Temuka. So they win in straight sets, 7-0, 6-4. Straight sets victory for Temuka Magpies over the Taradale Tigers. Congratulations to them. They win the nightcap. And overall, guys, pretty comprehensive performance. Obviously, Taradale played their power play to give themselves a chance, but Temuka were in control throughout both sets.
Wow, they won 9 ends.
Yeah.
It's pretty much control.
Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations to them, and a big thank you to Steve and to Anne for joining us in commentary here for the nightcap, the fourth and final game of the evening, the eighth and final game we've brought to you today. Plenty to come tomorrow. 8 games of bowls. First up from 9 o'clock, Clyde against Birkenhead, then Naenae, locals against Elmwood Park, then Waihopai up against Inglewood, Taradale, Milton, Whangarei, Canterbury 2017, then Marston, Kerikeri United playing Manurewa, and then Takoro taking on Stoke. So another feast of bowls to come on Saturday here at the Naenae Bowling Club in Lower Hutt. Make sure you join us on Bowls New Zealand's YouTube channel then. Otherwise, have a good night, and we'll see you then.